Starting at guard from Pangasinan, number 5, Jason Brickman. For MVP, wearing jersey number 30, Jerome Lastimosa. And forward, the second generation PBA player and member of the
Good run of form after this last game. And of course, the Meralco Bolts are trying to continue on what has been a hot streak for them with 3 games. And right here, we have CJ Cancino give it to Jones. Jones operating one-on-one. And Chapman with the late contest, but it doesn't matter. Marvin Jones gets the first 2 to go.
Players were in double digits.
Take a look at Jones going on the attack, working on Chapman, lost the handle game, but then they don't necessarily need him to be that primary scorer for them to find a lot of success in this team.
Well, these 2 imports are actually very similar.
Yes.
They just, do their job.
Offensively, they are also one of the best scoring teams in the league.
Correct. They're number 2 in the league in scoring. So it's really an overall excellence for the Meralco Bolts.
Here's Jerome Lastimosa. Again, Magnolia have yet to open the lid scoring-wise. And Chapman finally able to do that. Of course, great to see that type of support. That never goes away. No matter, it doesn't matter if 7-footer ka o hindi, your mom will always be there. So let's just assume that that's right, okay? Kasi kahit hindi ka nanay, you can still be mothering. And Cliff Hodge gets a score there.
They have to play much because of the presence of JV Mocon.
Absolutely, coach. Here's Zane Lucero, wow. Able to get that finish in right at the face of Cliff Hodge.
He's got a lot of physical attributes, he's long, he's athletic, and he's physically very strong. Oh, wow, what a great
Take
cut.
a look at that again. First is Cliff Hodge getting that
Cut
feed.
by Cliff Hodge, and the finish with the reverse.
Even Cliff Hodge has been scoring well this conference, coach, for this Meralco franchise. And we have to give him credit because he's not typically known as a source of points, at least at a high level. But then this conference, coach, he has been really turning heads with his all-around performance. As CJ Cancino, give him credit because he's not typically known as a source of points, at least at a high level. But then this conference, coach, he has been really turning heads with his all-around performance. As CJ Cancino from Brickman, and then you have Bong Quinto getting CJ Cancino wide open for the 3. This timeout is brought to you by Solera Online. Play the game your way on Solera Online Sportsbook.
You'll never know what the strategies are for both coaches in this game.
Actually, if Magnolia wins this one, coach, there is a permutation as Zabe Lucero gets the basket and 1. That, as we take a look at this finish from Zabe Lucero, getting fouled in the interior by Aaron Black, gets that basket and the N1 opportunity coming right up. Good one here so far, despite the low-scoring nature. 12 all. This timeout is brought to you by Solera Online. Play the game your way on Solera Online Sportsbook.
This is
In a series.
This is truly a great matchup between 2 teams that are performing so well technically. If we talk about technical basketball, both offense and defense, these are the 2 teams that I enjoy watching the most, and which is why it's a very exciting matchup.
It's a low-scoring game, coach, but then it is exciting because the low scoring is because of good defense in general.
Yes, because of the defense, because of the tactics, and because of the scouting reports that they put into this game.
Magnolia Hotshots, give it to Paul Lee. Lee kicks it out, lifts it up, gets the basket. Double check that here all together. Oh, that might be a 3. That is a 3, and that is gonna count. And all of a sudden, Magnolia 18-14, keeping Meralco down in terms of their scoring. Coach, adjustments here from Meralco Bolts, especially after that first quarter, because offense was a problem for them. Only 14 points in that first quarter.
Well, they need to
For Bates of how far he could go, the potential this young man has.
Oh, Bates has been a very valuable player for Meralco. He is, by the way, the best.
Trillo, as we take a look at this 4-pointer coming from Paul Lee, that is so far that he is practically beside the logo of Mall of Asia.
Outside shot.
That is a 16-3 run, and just to correct everyone there for the score, it's 24-15 in favor of Magnolia. Oh, he gets it again. Let's take a look at this again, coach. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
Oh, yes.
As well as a doggedness to win Spot up two is
Wow.
good.
But of course, you also have to do better in terms of defense because this is really a high-scoring game for
Alfaro. Andrada. Working against a smaller Banquero. He's small, but he's strong of a Banquero. But it doesn't matter because Andrada says the bank is open on a Sunday.
amazing interior defense by the Magnolia Hotshots. No easy shots inside the paint for Meralco.
Gomez de Liano, the LaSalle Lady Spikers. And I mentioned that as a LaSalle. Jones stripped away from De La Rosa. And Jones gets that basket to fall. A permutation wherein Magnolia has to beat Meralco 3 times in a row, including today, as Gomez de Liano gets a 3-ball to fall. Because Meralco hold a twice-to-beat advantage and could play Magnolia in the quarterfinals.
Indeed. This is why it's a very interesting matchup.
And Brickman gets that one to fall off the turn.
That was a tough shot by Brickman.
Here's Laput against Jones. Gomez de Liano. Oh, runs to the corner. Can't get that one to fall, but that was his shot. Here's Cancino. Trying to jumpstart their offense here. Cancino and Newsom on the floor. And Cancino trying to do it all by himself. Wow.
And the contact as well. Look at 2 Magnolia white shirts swarming on that shot.
Rather of Magnolia. Here's Jerome Lastimosa. Yeah, that's him just having the wherewithal, coach, in the moments where it matters the most.
And it's going to be a big morale booster for
Yes.
them going into the quarterfinals.
And a lot of it's been because Chapman has fit in with this Magnolia team.
Right here, a perfect cut by Chapman. He just really read the defense. He's so...
This Magnolia team.
That's 3 offensive rebounds in this possession alone.
A bit of a bump there from Lastimosa against Cancino. And he drains the jumper. Almost nonchalant, coach, talking about Jerome Lastimosa.
He's playing so relaxed. He's no pressure at all when you see him play. He's just reading the defense and making the right shots.
It's been all Magnolia here in the second quarter, and Brickman able to finish.
Like a playoffs game. In the dugout, they were warned that the first and second group of Meralco defend them differently, so their offense must anticipate this. Meanwhile, it was a very long dugout for dugout.
And that's interesting, coach, about the defense here of the Meralco Bolts, because we all know the defense is all about habits, and they don't want to develop bad habits going into the playoffs.
Third quarter.
So take a look at this shot here. This will be a 3-pointer coming in from Rome De La Rosa. Rome getting his and a reliable 3-point shooter.
And he's playing much more relaxed this time,
Oh, yeah.
not much pressure, knowing that now he has more teammates that can, deliver the goods for them.
This showing us that he has a shooting stroke. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook. And Brickman, coach.
The rotation now for the point guard is, and let's not forget, they still have Aaron Black.
Yes.
And even Anjo Karam is still there on the bench, no? So these guys can also play quality minutes.
Absolutely, coach. Again, our point is the depth of this Meralco team definitely is there. But of course, that depth is being challenged right now by the entire Magnolia Hotshots team. Mark Barroca teed that 3 up for his first points of the game.
Magnolia has been shooting so well in this game. And it's not just a few players, no? A lot of them have really contributed from the outside.
Chapman against Jones. Oh, and that's going to be a steal courtesy of Lastimosa. Lastimosa finding Mark Barroca, swing that around to Rome De La Rosa. He hit 1-3 a while ago. Can't get a second. This one goes to Brickman. Brickman hit a transition 3 a while ago. This time he attacks Mark Barroca. Oh, and that's a good swat come from Zabe Lucero. And that's a foul from Cliff Hodge. And he's done that in his collegiate career, coach.
Yes.
But then the size in the PBA is a lot different.
Yes.
CJ Cancino struggling offensively here. He only has 5 points here today, as well as Chris Newsom, coach.
Yes, a lot of them have struggled. Banquero has not scored at all.
Oh, and almost the block, but then Chris Newsom gets to it first. By the absence of the ejected Cliff Hodge and the ailing Brandon Bates, as it's a 56-41 lead for Magnolia. This time I was brought to you by Solera Online. Play the game your way on Solera Online Sportsbook.
But there's what we call contrapelo.
Oh,
that
yeah.
might, come into the picture.
Mark Baroka going to be a bit of a concern. If this continues on to the quarterfinals, it could really destroy their twice-to-beat advantage here. But then, immediately as I say that, great defensive stop here with Cancino forcing a turnover, and JV Malco getting a nice reverse.
Well, that's a start. You can never really slip on the Meralco Bolts. So it's still very early in this game. They're now just down by 12 points. But still, it's still far from the usual game of Meralco.
Three-pointer here, and this three-point shot is brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook. Ian Sanggalang is, coach, I'm not joking, 100% as the Magnolia Hotshots have been dominant here today. Paul Lee swings it around. Paulo Taha making his first appearance in the game. Chapman gets a free.
That he can also score from the outside. Here's that three-point shot from Chapman.
64-50. And the three ball falling here for Coach Ellie.
Wow, everybody's shooting so well from the outside. So what can you do if you're the Meralco Bolts? No, you're trying to prevent the inside shots, but they're hitting their outside shots.
JB Mocon gets that one to fall. You know, we saw Miss Ginny Chapman. Yeah, you can't really let go of this lead.
They need to keep their composure here.
But all of a sudden, Coach, the Meralco Bolts are within single digits.
That's a big shot coming from JB Mocon. They've been silent from the outside, and finally he broke that silence.
Here's Paul Lee, who was so important in that second quarter in particular. We go to the corner. Alfaro back to Lee. Lee pulls up and gets it to go. Wow, Paul Lee turning back the clock.
Immediately they answered with their own three-point shot. Great play right there. A handoff coming from Peter Alfaro to the open Paul Lee.
Brickman getting going. Quinto working against Gomez Eliano, who had a good first half, by the way. Oh, they feed Marvin Jones inside. He gets that basket and one. And
you can frustrate them for the majority of the game, but they're not going to give up. And that time,
Peter Alfaro. Chapman to Ian Sanggalang. Oh, size advantage here. Easy basket for Ian. And that's great awareness, by the way. 32 points already. So they've really turned things around. JB Mocon adds on to the count, and they are knocking yet again. Here's Alfaro using the pick from Sanggalang. Find Andrada, the elbow, getting that to fall. Again, he is going to be
with that second team foul.
Oh, JB Mocon sails in for two. Again, Magnolia Hotshots.
Wow.
Rely on Mark Baroka there.
You know, I love that play. That's a double ball screen provided for Mark Baroka, and that allowed him to just, attack the left baseline and score.
Swinging it around to Aaron Black. Marvin Jones trying to get the position. Against Dave Lucero. Lucero trying to deny. Double team comes. Oh, great feed. Great block. As Magbuas keeps it alive. Quinto in the corner.
Safe indeed. And this was the play where Bong Quinto turned garbage into goal.
This three-point shot is brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook. Chris Newsom. Mark Baroka. Trying to contain New. Jones can't get the three ball. Chapman there with the late contest was good enough. Here's Chapman taking it strong. All Filipino lineup for the Meralco Bolts, and Chapman is starting to take advantage of it.
Easy drop step for Chapman. No help provided.
Here comes Chris Newsom. Pulling up. Oh, that's blocked there coming from Lucero. Again, such a long and versatile defender.
Provided there by Meralco. So 2 points for him.
Here comes Chris Newsom. Pulling up. Oh, that's blocked there coming from Lucero. Again, such a long and versatile defender. Laput's going to come in, by the way, in the next opportunity, giving Chapman a much-needed rest. And JP Mocon there with defensive effort. But it falls to Gomez Deliano for 2.
Unfortunately for Meralco, they have been shooting terribly in this game.
Last 2-minute mark as you have Jerome Lastimosa.
At least the adjustments will be clear on what they need to do in the quarterfinals.
So, Coach, if Barangay Ginebra wins, this is going to be the matchup, Meralco against Magnolia. So, Meralco are now waiting to play either Magnolia or the Team Tropang 5G. Either way, they'll be interested
Yes,
in the teams playing today.
for sure. Both teams are going to be staying to watch the next game.
93-76 here. The final score on a Mother's Day showdown.